Hey, what's up, guys? Leviticus Dragon here, bringing you some Rebel Galaxy gameplay while I talk about the latest Star Wars trailer. If you haven't seen it, go see it right now. At 38 million views, it's freaking phenomenal, and I can't wait for this movie to come out. But before I talk more about that, let me explain a little bit about Rebel Galaxy. This is an indie game that has been released on Steam. It is not in early access, which is surprising because you guys know me, I play all kinds of early access games. But you can get it for $17.99 on Steam. It's developed by Double Damage Games. They haven't released anything besides this game that I'm aware of. But this is, it's not a typical 3D space simulation game. You cannot go in directional movements or up and down. You can go forward, backwards, left, and right. So that may throw off a lot of people. But basically, what the developers say this game is like naval warfare in space. So if you can imagine that space is water and you're turning and using your broadsides to fire your cannons, that's basically what this game is in space. So it's a lot of fun. It's not something that you would spend a lot of time in. It's great for a couple hours at a time, in my opinion. But a lot of people love it on Steam. It's got great ratings at very positive, and it's a lot of fun. It's you can go around trading with other alien species. You can attack other well, not other players, but you can attack other NPCs. And you can attack pirates and things like that. So it's just basically the combat is a lot of fun. There really isn't a lot of depth in the game, but the combat is really what the game is all about, and it's quite cool. So check it out. And now let's talk about Star Wars. So if you haven't seen the last trailer, I mean, it's great. I've been watching Star Wars for a long time. I mean, I love Star Wars. I think everybody loves Star Wars, and you know, the trailer itself, I think, was pieced together in a way that isn't going to show too much, too many spoilers about the storyline or about, a lot of the characters that are going to be in the film. I think the way the trailer is, it was just kind of to, pique your interest but not really give away too much. And I kind of like that approach. I don't want to be spoiled before I go to the theater. And, I think what's going to happen in Star Wars Episode 7 is that, a lot of the old characters like Han Solo and, Leia and Luke are kind of going to be supporting characters. And I think they're going to make way for, a new cast of characters to come in, a younger generation. And that's, typically how these things go after 30 years has passed, Of course, people with the Force, they can live a lot longer than people that don't, have anything to do with the Force. So, 30 years might not be that long, but, a lot has changed. It seems like everything that happened in, the past has kind of been a distant memory. Nobody's really remembered what's going on. They're all just stories to a lot of the younger generation. And I think part of this film is going to be explaining to them that, that stuff really did happen. There was a dark side. There was a crew of Jedi and that were wiped out. And, there was Boba Fett. They're probably not going to mention him, but I hope they do because I love him. But, it's going to be interesting to see what they do. And I'm curious to know what you guys think about it and what you thought of the trailer. Like, I mean, at 38 million views, it's just crazy. And I think, a lot of people are worried about J.J. Abrams. I will say, yeah, he uses a lot of lens flares, but, they do look good. But Star Trek definitely had way too many lens flares, I'll have to admit. But, I think a lot of people are a little worried about him directing this, or pretty much anyone, really. I mean, this is a loved franchise. People love Star Wars and don't want to see it ruined. Kind of like, episodes 1, 2, and 3. I mean, they were good, but they could have been better. I think, maybe with a larger budget or something. I mean, I don't know, the story just wasn't there in my mind. But I did like them for what they were, and it did lead up into episodes 4, 5, and 6. And so it's good to kind of fill that gap and that void, for growing up with Star Wars, 4, 5, and 6, and watching them over and over again. You always kind of wondered, okay, well, how did Darth Vader come to be? How did Anakin turn to the dark side? And, it was good to see that. And I think we all needed to see that. But, going forward with the episode 7, and 8 and 9, I think we're in good hands with J.J. Abrams, at least for this episode. I think he's going to do everything that we want, and I think the trailer is just a thing that he's good at is kind of piquing your interest but not giving away too much, and I think that was done intentionally. I think we're going to see a lot more of the characters. I don't think they're going to be, kind of distant like it looked like in the trailer. It kind of seemed like it was all the new characters, and the supporting actors, Han Solo and Leia and stuff, were just going to appear at random moments. But I think we're going to see a lot of them. I think they still have a part to play, and we're going to see what they've been doing the last few years. And so, I don't know. It seems like it's going to be cool. The ticket sales, if you haven't heard about it, they sold this movie is going to break records all over the place. And while I don't really care much about the records, it's just cool to see that there's another film being made. And I think George Lucas made a good decision to sell his baby off to Disney, because Disney has unlimited funds. They can set any budget they want, and they can make the movie that we all want to see, no matter the cost. And I think that's what we're going to see here is, a really large budget, and which I don't know what the budget is, but, it's going to be a big budget, and to make sure that it's done right. And that's one of the things that we can all say for ourselves is that, as you get older and you're in the movie, like George Lucas, he's done Star Wars for so long. He's created the universe, he's created the characters, he's created the world. He's done it for so long that sometimes you need to bring in new people, bring in fresh ideas to take the movie and franchise in places that somebody who was in it for so long and had creative say and everything, to kind of step back and do something different with it. So that could be a good thing. And I think J.J. Abrams is great because he took Star Wars, something that a lot of people didn't really like. You had your fans like Star Wars fans, Star Trek fans. Me personally, I like Star Wars, I like Star Trek, Battlestar Galactica, I like all of those, and I couldn't pick between them because I love all of the universes. I would probably pick Star Wars over anything, but that's just me. But he took something like Star Trek and made it appeal to people that didn't really like Star Trek to begin with, and that to me is an amazing talent. And I think he has the same kind of thing with Star Wars. You really don't have to do that with Star Wars because everybody loves Star Wars, but there's probably still some people out there that, and believe me, I know some people, and you probably do too, that have not seen Star Wars and don't care for it. And it's, if he can bring some more people into the world and universe and love it just like we do, then I think that's a good thing. So the other thing that I thought was really funny was that when they were releasing the trailer, the latest official trailer for The Force Awakens, that they were going to release it during a football game, which I don't know which football game it is because I don't really watch football, but it just kind of seems silly to me because a lot of people that like Star Wars, I don't really see them liking football. But, I could be wrong, and maybe I am wrong, but according to the sales online after the trailer played during the football game, the sales were out of the roof or out of this world or whatever you want to call it. And so, maybe I'm wrong there, but it just seemed funny. But online, they did release a trailer at the same time on their official Star Wars channel on YouTube. So, I guess they wanted to appeal to all kinds of audiences with this and kind of break some records, which I think they did. So, anyway, let me know in the comments below what you think about the latest Star Wars The Force Awakens trailer. Did you like it? Did you not like it? And can you wait to see Star Wars, or are you dying to see it like I am? Until next time, take care.